Welcome to Kids Story Time. Today's story is The Recipe for Dreams. Sophie had always loved food. From the moment she could hold a spoon, she was helping her mother stir, knead, and sprinkle magic into every dish. But it wasn't until one rainy afternoon, when she was searching through her grandmother's old kitchen cupboard, that Sophie discovered her true calling. The cupboard was full of forgotten treasures, old cookie cutters, dusty spice jars, and a weathered leather book with gold lettering. It was her grandmother's recipe book. Sophie opened it with a reverent hush, as if she had found a treasure chest. The pages were yellowed with age, and each one was filled with scribbled notes, flour stains, and pictures of dishes that looked more like works of art than food. Sophie spent hours flipping through the book, her imagination running wild. She could almost taste the chocolate cake her grandmother had written about on one page, and smell the spicy aromas from the curry recipe on another. She began dreaming not just of cooking, but of one day becoming a MasterChef, like the chefs she saw on TV. The next day, Sophie announced her dream at the breakfast table. "I'm going to become a MasterChef, just like the ones on TV. I'm going to cook the best dishes in the world." Her parents exchanged amused glances, but they didn't discourage her. "Well, sweetheart," her dad said, smiling, "MasterChefs have to learn a lot of skills, practice, and never give up. Are you ready for that?" Sophie nodded eagerly. She wasn't just ready, she was determined. For weeks, Sophie practiced. She made scrambled eggs, then perfected pancakes, and learned how to season her pasta just right. She even tried baking her grandmother's famous apple pie. Every mistake, burnt toast, an overcooked chicken, or an accidental spill of flour only made her more determined. She'd wipe her tears, shake off the flour, and try again. But not everything came easily. One afternoon, after a particularly disastrous attempt at a soufflé that collapsed like a deflated balloon, Sophie sat on the kitchen floor, feeling frustrated. "I'm never going to be a master chef," she muttered, tears streaking her face. Her grandmother, who had been watching from the doorway, knelt beside her. "Sophie," she said softly, "a good chef doesn't just know how to follow a recipe. They know how to rise again after they fall. Cooking is about heart. It's about making something with love, no matter how it turns out." Sophie wiped her eyes and looked up at her grandmother, who gave her a warm smile. "Let me show you a little secret," she said, pulling out a tattered card from her recipe book. It was a recipe for Sophie's Dream Stew Star. The ingredients were simple: fresh vegetables, herbs, and a pinch of hope. Sophie's grandmother explained, "This stew is more than just food. It's about putting your heart into something and making it better each time." With her grandmother's words in her heart, Sophie set to work. This time, instead of worrying about mistakes, she focused on making the stew with care, choosing each ingredient with love. As the stew simmered on the stove, the kitchen filled with a wonderful scent, and Sophie realized something important. Being a master chef wasn't about perfection, it was about passion, perseverance, and the courage to keep going, no matter what. Sophie didn't win any competitions that year. But when she served her grandmother the perfect bowl of stew, with a smile that could light up the whole kitchen, Sophie knew she had already achieved something far more important. She had discovered the recipe for her dreams: a pinch of hope, a dash of love, and a generous helping of hard work. And that was only the beginning.
Like, comment, and subscribe.